Live. Is it counting down?
Yeah.
It's live.
It's live. We're live, Brittany.
Oh,
hello, Facebook. We are here at Red Barn Academy, and we have Mario and Ethan. And this is the organization that we have all been donating money to donate food. And I think I told you that we collected 4,500. It's over 4,500. That we can bring food to you, like 350 pounds a week or whatever it is that you guys want until that runs out. We're hoping to keep collecting, and that's why we wanted to kind of do a deep dive tour, so that we can understand, so our community can understand, so we can help support you guys even better and even more.
Awesome.
And beyond just like this few times,
Of
but
course.
hopefully longer term. So,
permanent.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we'd love. You know, a partnership with you guys. You guys have already done a lot. You know, and we very much appreciate your guys' help, and the community as well for what you guys are doing. Yeah, we'll give you guys a tour so you guys can get to know what Red Barn is and what we're about.
Perfect. That sounds good.
You know, when we first get here, this bench right here is really what is the portal to Red Barn.
Okay.
You know, you get here and we sit on the bench. You know, after you write your letter, because there's a few ways you get to Red Barn.
Okay.
You either write a letter to your judge if you're in jail.
Okay.
And then you get accepted and you come here, or you walk in right from off the street. You walk in and you still sit on this bench. So this bench is like the portal. It's the portal from your old life to your new life, and it's set here in this place because you can see the gate, the street, everything of your old life. So you get to choose. You get to sit there and choose. Okay, am I ready for a new beginning, or go right back out and do what you were doing? So that's why it's specifically located in this location. You know, we have a few of them. This one is where you first get in here. You'll see some, located, along our property, and that's just, we use that as kind of a tool for when people, some of the guys, including myself, we get irritated or upset or wanting to leave, then we take a seat on the bench, and then one of the staff or one of the house leaders comes and gets us and helps us out with those problems.
Wow.
But that's what it is. Usually the
Very
TV's on.
smaller bench.
Exactly, yeah. And it shows a little about our social initiative. It's not on today, but these are some of our yearbooks that we've had for the beginning. That's Midnight right there.
Yeah, I had to pet Midnight.
Yeah, Midnight's awesome. She's been here a long time before I've been here.
She's just like us. She was a stray. She needed help with her life.
That's awesome.
She
You guys
found
took
us,
her in.
and here she is.
That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, we have a few animals.
Just a few, 'cause you're a farm, right?
Yeah, we have a few. These are some of the yearbooks from, kind of in order of where we were and where we are today.
So early years. When did you guys start then?
So we started this program about 2015, 16, 17, the program.
Okay.
But our founder, he started this barn. He developed this whole station park. I don't know the exit and everything, station park exit.
Okay.
So Rich Hawes and the board members, they developed all that, Cabela's, all this.
Mm-hmm.
But he left this barn here. He didn't know why.
Okay.
He just said, "I'm just gonna leave the farm and
So
farming."
this isn't new necessarily.
No.
It's just remodeled.
It was-
This has been here since 2012, I think.
So this barn was built in 2008.
Okay.
He wanted to keep the farm in Farmington, and like Mario said, he wasn't sure why.
Okay.
And then when their family had their loss of their son to a tragic heroin overdose, it says that's what this place is for.
Okay.
We're gonna change lives.
Wow.
And at first this was a sober living, AA meetings, NA meetings, things like that, and it really wasn't working. It wasn't, filling their cup the way that they saw.
Okay.
So then they started traveling and went around all the world, down to San Patricio, Italy, Delancey Street, and then all these other therapeutic communities up in Canada as well,
Okay.
and started learning, and that's where we became what we are.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
You'll see a little bit of pictures. We have pictures of how we got started
Okay.
along this wall over here.
Okay.
I'll
Perfect.
show you.
Perfect. And I suppose you're gonna tell us like your success rate, those kinds of things.
Yeah. Yep.
Thanks for that.
And this is a little bit of how it looked before,
Okay.
how it got started. This is where we're at. And this is the first bunkhouse that we built.
Okay.
Now
So
we
that's
have.
attached to this building.
Yep. Right, it's right over here on this side.
Got it.
Yep. And then we poured asphalt and the storage. And then if you keep walking this way, this is what he was talking about. This is Dustin Hawes. This is Rich Hawes' son, who passed away of a drug overdose. You know, if it wasn't for his sacrifice, I don't know if Ethan and I would have the opportunity, you know, to change our life here at Red Barn. You know, it was his loss that gave us a chance at life. You know, and it sucks to say because losing somebody is very difficult.
Sure.
You know, and this is also a big reason why Sticky Bird, why we have Sticky Bird. So he worked at a King's Chicken down south, like in Arizona.
Okay.
And you know, when he was going to treatment, and he worked at King's Chicken, and he said it was so therapeutic. He said he loved it. And that's the reason why we made Sticky Bird.
Okay.
That's why our founder made Sticky Bird, partnered with Wingers, and made a chicken restaurant.
Yeah.
And it's helped us out tremendously.
Wow.
And if you can see some of the, you know, early beginnings of kind of a little bit of the news when we were first started.
So these say 2017, so
Yep.
that's kind of when this whole thing started.
Yeah,
Wow.
that started.
Okay.
You know, and Steve Young, I'm not sure if you know much about Steve Young, the quarterback for the 49ers.
Yes.
Sure.
So, yeah.
I do, yes.
Yeah.
It's that foosball
You
thing.
know, he also has a
You're
kind
scared
of
away some of our customers
he
who
has
don't know
a-
who Steve Young is.
he helps out families that are going through I guess how would you say it? It's called Forever Young Foundation. It's
Yeah.
people that are in recovery. He helps the families of the people that are in recovery
Okay.
because they are also
It's all affected by it.
exactly
Yeah,
because they're also
they're all
affected.
by it.
So we're partnered with that organization as well.
Okay.
Nice.
And right here you'll see this is the Other Side Academy in Salt Lake City.
I love
I'm not
Other
sure if
Side.
you're familiar.
Yes.
You know, and this is the Volcom Academy and San Patriano and some of the other, you
Are
know.
these from around the world or here in Utah?
No, these are all around. This is in Utah. And some of them are all. I think these two are in Utah and some are around the world.
Okay.
And so you guys partner with these other academies too to kind of develop the same type of.
Exactly. They helped us.
Program?
Yeah, they helped us.
Kind of start your own program,
this.
yeah.
Yeah, little bit of this, little bit of that,
And see what
then
works
we
and
just
what
made it.
didn't work
Yeah,
and
we
made
just
it-
made it our own.
Nice.
Wow.
I love
It's
TLC.
brilliant. It's
It is
brilliant.
brilliant.
I think it's great. Yeah, I mean, that's,
So in 2017, the first year, how many students?
I think we had like 6 students.
Okay.
So that's what the enterprises are for, so we can pay the bills,
yeah.
right? To keep this running, to keep getting, you know, legal fees, keep getting people out of jail, off the streets. But you know, when the food and clothing and all that stuff is strictly off the donations from the community.
Do you guys get donations for clothes as well?
Yeah,
That's for
we'll
the-
show
for
you
the
that.
guys?
Yeah,
Oh,
we'll show you
nice.
all the stuff. Yeah, we get all that. You know, luckily we're able to. That's what we work in. We work in the department where we strictly reach out to the community
For donations.
and for help. You know, with donations.
Okay.
Nice.
And it's,
Okay.
yeah, it's been super. It's been awesome.
So if you're gonna tell us somewhere in the tour, you can wait till then. But I'm
Yeah.
curious, like
What?
the actual process people go through to be accepted,
Yeah.
and how many people are accepted versus what's not, and what makes them like be rejected.
Like,
I guess.
So the only rejection that I see is if you're unable to work,
Okay.
because this is a work program.
Okay.
If you don't have a strong back, strong knees, you know that will not necessarily all the way, but it will enable you, enable you to come here.
Okay.
Some charges like sex offenses and arson,
Okay.
we don't accept those.
Okay.
But mostly, if you're willing to change your life, you know, then you can come here.
Okay.
You know, as long as you're willing. If you show, because we do an interview in jail, and we also do an interview here.
Oh wow.
And if you show that you want to change and do something different, we'll give you a chance.
Yeah.
But if you're arrogant and cocky and don't want to listen, then for the most part, you're not going to do well here.
Sure.
And you're probably going to run.
Yeah.
It all starts with writing the letter too. It's a lot of us are sentenced here
Okay.
from the courts, but it's not like some other programs where they will just sentence you here.
Okay.
It all starts with you have to write that letter, and that's part of really the change that it takes is
So
admitting
you have
that
to
you need
make the
help.
first step.
You do,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then after that, we've got some of our guys, our legal team, who will help. They'll show up to your court dates. They'll advocate. We have a really good relationship with a lot of the courts.
Oh wow.
That's awesome.
But it all
That's awesome.
starts with humbling yourself and asking for help.
Yeah. That's
Writing
awesome.
that letter.
Yeah, because what we found out, during our addiction is that if somebody makes us do something, we're not
Yeah.
going to do it successfully.
Sure.
But if you're broken down and ready to change, then that's when you're vulnerable. That's when change can happen.
Sure.
You know, that's why we're here.
Yeah.
Do you
That's
find that your success rate is higher with those who come here on their own versus through the court system?
Yes, I think so. Because even if you're through the court system, you still have to accept to come here.
Yeah.
Like you know, it doesn't matter if the court sentences you here. There's no guards. Nobody's holding you here.
Yeah.
So nobody's holding each other here, you know, except the will to change. So if you're here off the street or from jail, nobody's holding you here. So I think that your own free will, that's what keeps you here, the want to change.
And this is a 2-year program.
2-year minimum commitment.
Okay.
Yeah, I've actually committed to a 3rd year
Okay.
because I've noticed so much change in me. You know, and like Logan's a 3rd year and you know he's in staff, and I just want to follow in the footsteps to show the younger guys, you know, that change is possible. You know, and to help the next guy coming up, you know, that we can show them the way, the each one teach one process that we do here. So that way when Ethan gets to my stage in the program, he can show the next guy, right, that is in his shoes.
Yeah. That's
How's
awesome.
the longest what's the longest that people stay here?
So we have a 4th year student, you know, he's the first 4-year student that we've had.
Okay.
But it's unlimited, right? As long as you're willing to change, I mean, you're always going to be helping out.
And do they usually lead to go to like once they complete the program? Do they usually end up finding like jobs and that type of thing because you're teaching the skill sets, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So exactly, after 2 years, you'll get the opportunity to find your own job in the community. It's what's called a 3-month, it's a workout phase.
Yes.
So
Okay.
you reintegrate back in the community. You'll live here free of rent. You can stay up to 6 months, get a job, save as much money as you can. We also have a housing that we do after you graduate the program, where it's $500 a month, and you go and live there with some of the other graduates, and that way you're always connected. We have a support system. You
Yeah,
know,
because that's the
it's
part
called
is that you want to
alumni.
make sure you still stay
Yeah.
connected.
exactly. We're always connected, so that's something that we're always gonna have.
Yeah, and that was a good question because that was my question. Is like, you know, integrating back into the community, but also there's like that financial piece of it. So I love the fact that we rent, save for 6 months. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And
Especially
then
in this
cheap rent
economy.
after that. Especially in this
exactly.
economy.
It's-
Everyone's struggling, so
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
So yeah, the founder and the board have been a big help. You know, they're saving our lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You know, and that's why, because also in that phase you're also reintegrating back into your, you know, a lot of us have kids,
Yeah.
you know, families.
Yeah.
We've broken a lot of relationships, you know, along the way, and you're able to mend them, right? The last 6-7 months of the program, you're mending those relationships back, so that when you do reintegrate back in the community, you're not just thrown out there into the, you know, to the
Yeah.
wolves.
Yeah.
So
So does your family get to come visit you whenever you want? Yes.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Hey, Nicholas.
Hey, good morning.
This is
Good morning.
Nicholas.
Hi.
He's a program director.
How we
Nicholas.
doing?
Good.
These
How
guys
are
are from Food and Meat Co-op.
Hi.
I'm DJ.
Hi.
Good to
My
meet you.
husband Brian.
Good to meet you, Brian.
And Kathy.
Kathy, my man.
These guys are from Food and Meat Co-op.
Hey, I didn't know he was a hugger. Hold on a minute.
I am a hugger. I am a hugger.
Nicholas has the biggest heart here, man. This guy, he would take the shirt off his back to give to anybody, man. This guy has helped me through a lot.
That's awesome.
Well,
Thank you.
this place gave me my life back.
Yeah.
You know, I spent 15 years in and out of the system and in and out of jail. I was been booked in the Davis County Jail 25 times, and I was on a one-way trip to prison for the rest of my life. And Michael Hawes, I wrote a letter, and he came to interview me, and he told me about myself, and I didn't like it, but when I laid down in my cell that night, I thought, yeah, you know, he is right. You know, I'm not there for my family. I am a burden to society. All of these things that he told me that I was. And then when I walked in these doors, as you know, the feeling when you come in here, you understand, like, this place saves lives, and we do make a difference. And we have 67 men here, including these two, who are doing it, and we can do it. You know, it doesn't matter the road that you've been in, it doesn't matter what you've done, it doesn't matter what's happened to you that's been negative. You can come here and you get a clean slate. You have the platform to reinvent your life. And then when you leave here, we're fathers, we're sons, we're uncles, you know, we're productive members of our communities. And that's what
pork roast or something like
That's
that.
what I should have done.
Pork butt?
Sorry
Pork
about
was,
that.
yeah.
Yes.
And he was gonna
That was
smoke
great.
something.
Yeah.
How he smoked I don't know,
Brisket.
brisket.
Yes.
He smoked brisket.
That's
On
what
a
my favorite is.
Yeah, he smoked brisket. Man, that was
We had smoked brisket for Christmas too.
that was
so,
phenomenal.
Never had that good of brisket before. He was up at 4 in the morning.
Yeah,
it was snowing, and he set up a canopy.
It's a behavior of his.
You know what? I get it. My husband's up 2 o'clock, 4
4 o'clock
o'clock.
in the morning, so I got a lot to do, you know?
Yeah.
I said, no, don't kid yourself, you love this.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It is awesome.
With the Traeger, though, you put it on at 4 a.m. and then you go back to bed for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's just like, yeah, I think
You gotta
we
watch
know
that
here.
baby.
That's
so are you a
awesome.
graduate here and then you're here to help run the operation, or tell me about your journey?
Well, I came here as a student,
Okay.
broken, scared, all of those things, and then I grew up in the moving company, and so I became a mover, and I never thought that moving would save my life, but it did.
Yes.
And we always used to say, if this box doesn't save your life, maybe the next one will. And then I became a clerk, a moving clerk, and
Okay.
they brought me in there, and then I helped run the moving company.
That's awesome. That's Red Barn Movers.
Red Barn
Yes.
Movers.
Yeah.
And then from there, I got tapped on the shoulder by Michael. He says, "Do you want to help save some lives?" And of course, I said yes. And they brought me back over here to the program, and now I'm in charge of the students within their first 2 years.
Oh wow.
And I do oversee the third years, but we all kind of do it as a team.
Yeah.
We have Michael Hawes and Logan Child and myself and Kevin who kind of run the program.
That's awesome.
So,
Yeah. Well, good job.
well, thank you. It's his place. This
Yes,
place is
that's
amazing.
awesome.
And it's
Yes.
guys like these two who help save my life every day.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
as they fight for themselves, I in turn get the opportunity to continue to fight for myself.
Yes.
So,
Yes. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing.
you're welcome. Thanks for coming in and seeing us. We'll see you guys.
Yeah,
Have a great day.
Spontaneous interview.
I know. Yeah, Nicholas is awesome. He's always walking in at the right moments. And this is what the barn used to look like
Okay.
before this was even up.
I didn't even know there was a farm here.
Yeah.
This all used to be farmland
Yeah.
way back in the day.
8 different farms.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Okay.
this used to, this whole Farmington used to be a farm.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Nothing but
That's why I call
wetlands.
Farmington.
Yeah, nothing but wetlands.
Yeah.
You know, a bunch of cattle, milk cows. Aaron and Fritcher's. So what happened is that Rich Hawes, he tried to purchase these farms way before, but he wouldn't budge. He's just like, yeah, we're not moving anytime soon.
Yeah.
And I think around what was it, 1999?
And,
I want to say 99.
Okay.
He actually reached out to Rich Hawes and said, hey, we're moving.
done.
Yeah, we're done. We're moving. They moved the farm south somewhere.
Okay.
Say we're moving down south. If you want to purchase these lands, you can.
Okay.
And so he purchased all these lands. He helped develop. That's when he started developing everything, you know. And he built this.
That's about the
This
time I
farm.
got to Utah, so that makes sense. I didn't see it.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew nothing about this until I got to this program, and it's amazing the things that Rich Hawes has done.
Yeah.
You know, giving back. You know, he gave up his basketball career because he was in basketball. He actually even played for I think it was for
Supersonics.
the Sonics. He
Yeah.
played for the Sonics, and he said, you know what, I'm gonna go and help save lives. You know, change the community. And they started. I think he was an architect and stuff like that.
Was he a native Utahn?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah,
that's
he's
why
from
Utah.
Farmington. Yeah.
Oh, he's from Farmington.
Yeah, Farmington.
Okay. Yeah.
And so he's been helping, you know, the community since he was young.
Yeah. Wow.
Moving along, and there's a little bit of when we first started. This is when we had when it was solar living. You know, the community came and helped us
Okay.
out with railroad ties around the
And was it
trail.
co-ed at that time then?
It was just kind of like, I don't know if it was co-ed up to be
Oh,
honest
okay.
with you.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
I think it was all men all the time.
I think
Okay.
I think it's always been just.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
yeah.
they just came as a help their
family.
volunteer group.
Got it.
They
Okay.
did do briefly though, like a family support
Yeah.
troop here
Okay.
before it became what it is today.
Okay.
And so families could come in and
The old
really
kitchen.
connect, you know,
Yeah.
to figure out how to best support their children,
Yeah.
or if they were suffering from the loss of their children, like that.
Okay. That's really cool. Is this your guys'
This is
where
our-
you guys eat? No.
This is our old kitchen, yeah.
Oh,
So
old
when I first got here, this is where we ate.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
this is where we cooked our meals. This is our old kitchen, our old dining room.
Yeah.
And that's Domo. Where you were looking at, that's Domo. So Domo, They donate 5 licenses to Red Barn a year so we can have these programs.
Nice.
This is how we wake up in the morning, or even before we go to bed. This is what shows us where we're at in the morning, if we're on a move, if we're at Sticky Bird, wherever we're at. If we have any events during the day, like doctor appointments, court, whatever. This is pretty much what plans out our day.
Okay.
This is our scheduling system, kind of.
So when you say where you're going to be for the day, so you could wake up, not necessarily you, but somebody could wake up and be at Sticky Bird one day, be at the mover the next day, or do they?
Usually movers and Sticky Bird stay the same.
Okay.
But sometimes movers, they will go and stay on the farm and do like PM work or do construction or do other little jobs here and there.
Okay.
But usually Sticky Bird, yeah, they stay at the bird, or they'll stay here for like a doctor appointment or stuff like that.
Okay.
So
And with our movers, I mean, we've got 6 moving trucks at the moment that are going out. We've got about 8 or 9 different crew leads, and so as those crew leads rotate through, it lets them know, the movers know whose crew they're on the next day and things like that.
yeah, perfect. Yeah, we have 6 trucks. We have a thrift truck and we have 2 rentals.
Okay.
So we're usually running about 6-7 crews a day.
Oh, wow.
You know, yeah, we run. Yeah, it's a lot.
Do you have to be at a certain point in your program in
To
order?
movers?
Yes.
So 30 days minimum. That way we can assess to make sure that you're having a good attitude. Your thought process is good, because we don't want to set them up for failure. If we send them out on a move and then next you know they're taking off or they're stealing or whatever it looks like. We want to make sure that they're getting the gist of the program, you know, before we send them out on a move or at Sticky Bird. So about 30 days.
Okay.
You know, myself, I was on the moving company for about 16 months. I was a crew lead, and yeah, I loved it. You know, you're out there, that's when you get the brotherhood with the guys, man. You're out there moving heavy things and just doing it together as a team. You know, moving 3 trucks at a time sometimes. And
It's really cool too with the movers. You know, for myself, a lot of those things when we show up and there's 1,000 and 2,000 pound safes and grand pianos and pool tables and all these things that never in my life would I thought I would have moved. And you show up with a bunch of guys, and that's where you really learn to build trust in each other as you're moving these items. And afterwards, to be able to say, I did something hard, something that I didn't think I'd be able to do.
Yeah.
And it really is a connection unlike any other.
Yeah.
Being out there moving together.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's really cool.
it's a unique skill too you learn out there with sage, pool tables, big old pianos. Yeah.
Yeah. That is a skill for sure.
Yeah, that's our kitchen, our back pantry. Yeah, but
So do they currently cook in this kitchen? You just
sometimes we cook
okay,
in
so
here.
this is still the old kitchen.
A lot of the graduates, they'll come in here and they'll cook some of their meal preps
Okay.
in here. We use this though back here. This is some of our where we keep some of our food.
Okay. So would this be like your freezer? Like when you bring stuff to you guys, is this where you're putting it?
Either this one or we have another one over there.
Okay, so you
We
do
have-
have 2.
Yeah, we have
okay.
2 of them.
Okay.
So we have
nice.
here and then over there some of these freezers with different kind of meats.
Yeah. Nice.
We need that freezer for the
Yeah,
co-op.
we do.
You can have it. Not kidding.
It's called movers.
Yeah, just hire us. We'll
I know
help
some
you.
movers.
That's true.
Yeah.
No, we need to figure out a way to get this for our customers because they have big freezers.
Really?
Yeah.
Can I get a shot of that freezer?
This one's just our walk-in freezers in our other building.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'5".
Ladies and gentlemen, do you know how much food and meat co-op you could fit in this freezer? Okay, sorry.
The middle one's for quarantine, just in case anybody gets super sick or whatever. That's quarantine. Upstairs is where the third year commitment stay.
Okay.
So that's where I'm staying as of right now. We got 4 rooms that can hold four guys a room.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
How many bunk in a room is it?
Yeah, about 4 up there. You get a little more privileges. You have fridges, you got microwaves, you got big TVs, you got TVs in your room, stuff like that. I'll take you to where the other camp house is, and you'll see kind of the difference from the second to the third. Because the third is more like, because you've already done your second year, so you have it's more like an apartment.
Sure.
So you're kind of getting used to what it's gonna look for you, you know, when you graduate.
Yeah.
You know, a little bit more privacy, you know, but you still share rooms, you share bathrooms, stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah.
And they'll just get a little more responsibility. You gotta do your own laundry, clean your own stuff, a little more responsibility. Dirty. You guys want to walk? Every area has is a responsibility, and somebody takes care of it.
Okay.
Like Robert runs the kitchen.
Oh, I love greenhouses.
Oh, this is a nice.
We have two guys that are responsible for the greenhouses. They're making these flourish. Yeah, this is my favorite one right here. Touch it. It smells really good.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wait, let me smell yours.
Some brochure, I think, something like that. So they take care of this, and
Do you guys sell like plants with that community? Do you like?
no, what we do is on our we do our own planting. So we plant seeds around January.
Germinate.
Germinate, exactly. That's the word I was trying to. We germinate them around January, and then we'll plant them around early spring.
I think we already planted tulip bulbs and stuff like that for the spring. We do vegetables. We do a little bit of it all. We do a lot of petunias. Petunias are our big thing. So like Mario mentioned, early spring. We'll come in here usually as we'll do like a whole event as a house.
Yeah.
We'll all come out here and we'll work together and we'll get all the little planters and everything and watch the whole process from start to finish. And then as they start to bloom after the tulips die, we'll come out and we'll fill all our planter boxes.
I love that. I love that.
It flourishes in the summer.
Like a campus full of guys that
Yeah.
deal with flowers and plants.
Yeah, I didn't know how much work it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. Oh, I bet.
Yeah, it's an orange.
My glasses are fogging up.
That's an orange plant.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, we take care of all these guys.
That's beautiful. Wow.
Plant's like 40 years old.
Yeah.
That is
I just
beautiful.
We got fruit trees all
Now it's like all around.
Extra cold now.
Yeah. We got fruit trees. This is one of our turkeys.
Hey, buddy.
What's up, bud?
Oh my gosh.
I'm okay. It's okay. It's all right, big
She's
boy.
brave.
She is brave.
Farm girl.
See, Ethan, why can't you be like that, right?
Hi. Okay, you got a
He
good
likes
little.
your nails.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, you have a ring too.
Well,
Oh
if
my
you've got a
gosh.
ring on, yes.
Yeah,
Anything
they're not
shiny.
really afraid. They're not really afraid.
Oh my
of
gosh.
humans.
And I know how to process you, big brother.
This is Rocky.
So behave.
Are these the same dogs that were the dogs of the son that passed away?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Are we able to?
Yeah, they're really nice.
Hi, big boy.
Rocky
Oh yeah, Rocky and Gracie.
Gracie.
Yeah, really nice. Rocky kind of takes charge of everything out here.
Does the turkey have a name?
I think this is Tom.
Tom.
the turkey.
Yeah.
That's original.
Gracie's kind of mean one. And then Rocky wants to submit her.
You want to come home with my
She's big
Thanksgiving
enough
dinner
to
next
where-
year?
You're actually like, yeah, it's not happening anymore. Yeah,
What? Okay.
it's not scary anymore.
What kind of dogs are they?
They're Australian Oshkosh.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like a Newfoundland kind of.
See the turkey prints.
Blueberries?
I don't know what kind of berries are, but yeah, they have little tiny red ones.
They look like gojis.
Yeah.
Yeah, the turkeys like them.
Yes, they do.
Yeah,
They're superfood.
the turkeys like they get crazy over all these vegetables when they're out here.
Yep.
Yeah, they get. I lock them up because I'm like, yeah, you can't. Those are for us.
Right? Yes. Look
A
at all
bunch
these
of
garden
fruit trees.
beds.
Yeah.
Don't be mean.
And
So
so,
do you guys, yeah, go ahead.
oh, good.
I think you're going to explain. I take it you source a lot of your fresh produce from out here.
Yep.
Okay, go
Yeah,
ahead. You can explain.
Yeah, during spring. Well, I was gonna say, the guys who take care of this is mostly, you'll see walking around here, some of the younger guys. Like that's our intern manager. But following him, these guys are the youngest guys in the house. They're what's called the intern phase. They're the first 90 days in the program. They take care of everything out here: the animals, the garden, the cooking, the cleaning, laundry. They take care of all that.
Okay.
You know, and that's probably one of the hardest processes that we have here, because it brings you that humility, right? Because out there on the street, you want to do whatever you want, when you want, how you want it. And so when you get here, you got to follow direction. You know, you got to do these little tasks. When in your mind they're like, oh, they're meaningless, but they're not.
Right.
Those are the tasks that actually help you, you know, fulfill those responsibilities and get you to a place to where you can actually work.
Yeah.
Right. So you're not, so you can follow direction.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Build some
That's
muscle
awesome.
memory.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
You
yes.
start little, that way you can grow, you know, to have more responsibility.
Yeah, because honestly, this is a good, like, and it's cool to see something that you plant in life, produce food, like, it is that symbol of that cycle of life, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Natural
Cool.
consequences as well,
Yeah.
because if
you
you're
don't
not
take care of it.
tending them, you don't get them.
Yep,
Yeah, for sure.
That's exactly right. I love the symbolism there.
You gonna say something, Ethan?
I was gonna say it's that intern phase is tough. You know, it's about 50% of the guys who come here don't make it that first 90 days because it really takes a lot to change.
Yeah.
If it was easy, everybody would be
Yeah,
doing
would do
it, and so it's tough. But learning how to follow, like Mario said, simple direction. Because if you can't do the little things, how are you supposed to do the big things?
Yep.
It all starts with learning just to work hard, have a good attitude, and stay out of drama, right?
Yeah.
And to work with, I mean, with 67 of us here, as you can imagine, there's a lot of personalities. So
Sure.
being able to learn how to mesh in a healthy way with all these different personalities, which is something we've never really done before for many of us. And so
Sure.
it's a cool
So
skill.
how long have you been in the program so far, Ethan?
I've been here for 10 months.
10 months. So in 10 months, what's been your least favorite job and your most favorite job?
I would say my most favorite for sure is right now in the corporate development office.
Okay, yeah.
Speaking with the community and really just trying to help put Red Barn's message out there.
Yeah.
It's my least favorite. I mean, that's kind of tough. I would say probably that first 30 days was really tough for me.
Okay.
That learning to be humble. For myself, I always wanted everything. I wanted everything now.
Yeah.
And everything was always my way. And so learning that I had to be okay with letting go of that.
Yeah.
Realizing that I don't have control and just be okay with being a part of something.
Yeah.
So that
That's a good
humility
lesson.
was hard.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
And we have quite a bit of animals. I mean, not a lot, but we got 2 turkeys. We got 3 peacocks. They just barely had a baby this spring.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful.
We got 2 alpacas, 3 goats, and we got a few ducks as well.
Okay. So with the animals specifically, are they just here for the purpose of work, or like, will you eat the turkey?
No.
Okay.
No.
I will.
There are pets. You know, they're probably the life of Red Barn.
She's cuddling up
So
to me.
they're here to be in a therapy in some way, and so they're all like pets.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I've never had a turkey do this before. Like, this is just...
It's really
It's a
cool.
pet turkey.
like
Because
you.
it's made it
All
through.
right, I'll pet a turkey.
He's made it through a few Thanksgivings. He's feeling kind of.
I know. It's stressed out here like it owns the place.
And what's
Past Thanksgiving and Christmas. Are we done?
What's so cool is that first 30 days, especially taking care of the animals. As what's so beautiful about the animals is they don't know how to take care of themselves. They can't take care of themselves. And for many of us who have never taken care of anyone but ourselves, we learn how to care for something else, how to show
Yes.
a true kind of love. And it's really one of those first responsibilities you get.
Yeah.
And being able to take pride in something, to come out here and show them love, keep it clean, and humble ourselves a little bit.
Keep them alive.
Yeah.
Another
That's
natural
awesome.
consequence. If
Exactly.
you do not.
That's awesome.
Exactly. And out here, and all these rocks were all put in both by Rick Hall started these with his son Dustin.
Definitely.
And then we finished it off about 4 years ago.
Okay.
We finished off the rest of this base. We changed it. It used to be just one big stream coming through. And we reformed it, we reshaped it.
Oh wow.
Right? Yeah. We put in
I bet
this
this
bridge.
is
Yeah.
And this right now.
Basically, out here is where I stay all the time.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. This is this part of our trail. You see these, I don't know if you noticed in the house, they have the 7 promises.
Yes, I saw that.
So each one of these rocks represents a promise.
Okay.
These are the 7 paths, the Anasazi Foundation. Each one of these ties in with the promises. And so after your 90 days, when you become a freshman, You'll come out here, you'll recite all your promises. Each one of these stones represents one promise, and you come out here, you have to remember them, and then you come out here, you say them all, the whole house comes out here, and it's a big deal, because it's you coming right into the family, and then you're able to, oh, I don't have my Red Barn shirt, but I usually have it, but you have your Red Barn shirt on, and you become part of the family, right? That's when we will hold you to the commitment that you did of these 7 promises.
Yeah.
So it's a big deal here at the barn. So this is a very important part right here of Red Barn. All right.
Very peaceful.
It's a lot of apartments coming up right here.
Are these the ones you're talking about for the tribal rent? Where are those at?
They're on the other side, behind McDonald's.
Okay.
Right behind McDonald's, we're building one. It's almost on. In April, it'll be done.
Okay.
And then right next to it, we're building another one. That'll be right beside that building. That one.
And is it only for Red Barn graduates, or they open it up like for lower cost housing for
Yeah,
other people?
they are. They're actually open. Yeah, exactly. Just like that. The first 3 floors are for that, and the last floor is for graduates.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so then, do people have to like basically apply to have like cheaper housing, I guess?
I'm not 100% sure. We're still kind of
income
ironing out
verified.
those details.
I need a new friend.
I can process them for you.
I know.
The only processed food I like.
I've been on chicken farms and turkey farms, and they can be pretty aggressive.
I know, that's why I'm trying to be a little bit cautious, but he coming up like right here.
Yes.
I like him. John, you and I can be friends. I won't tell you.
She'll follow you around.
I'm sure she will.
Pretty sure it's Bob.
Bob?
Is that Bob? Or Tom?
Bob.
Bob. Okay.
We got Tom and Bud. No, Tom and Bud.
Tom and Bud, yeah.
Tom and Bud.
Bud.
I like your peafowl.
I think that is Bud. The bigger
What
one's
are
Bud.
these?
So they had a male. That little male, that's the offspring. That's the
Oh,
female.
okay, so that's the baby and the
The one
female,
up
and the
there is-
male's up there.
That's the male, yeah. That's repeat, and that's
this is
Hope.
Oh, cool.
I think I don't know what we're gonna name the offspring yet. I think Faith. Not shit.
We had a male who passed away. His name was Pete, and we got this one. So this is
Repeat. I
Yeah,
knew
we
they
had
were.
There were three eggs, and then they hatched 3 chicks, which is very rare for a peacock. Usually only one
Yeah.
out of the 3 hatches.
Yeah.
In the whole spring, and all of them survived. But that big trough right there, we didn't mesh the door, so they kept coming out, and they were trying to drink water like their mom, and so they went in there and drowned. So finally, we just blocked them off in there, and we decided to just give them a little water. They survived. Well, he survived, but the rest passed away.
Back to the tropics.
You guys have any questions so far?
I feel like bringing the agricultural aspect into the whole program has helped in the success rate of the people that are involved.
I think so. These animals and the hard work is what keeps us here. You know, because it is very therapeutic. These animals help save my life. You know, give me a sense of purpose, like Ethan was saying, and of connection. Right? I didn't even know what connection was in my past. You know, if I wasn't getting anything from anybody else, I wasn't doing it. You know, and these guys, I'm getting, you know, unconditional love from the animals. You know, and it's very therapeutic.
My first 30 days too, my favorite thing to do was to come out and work in this greenhouse. Being able to get my hands in the dirt, in the soil, to deadhead some flowers, to replant, and to, you know, we planted all the petunias, right, and all the seeds, and pulling them out, right, once they got big enough, and putting them in their own little planters, and just really coming out here, it was, I never thought gardening could be so therapeutic. It was,
That's awesome.
Well, I mean, it seems that the whole program gives everybody a sense of purpose.
Yes.
Gives them direction, purpose.
Everybody has a
Learn
job
a
here.
skill set, talent, because you don't think you have those talents, and all of a sudden, hey, maybe I am good at gardening, or maybe I am good with animals, or
Yeah, exactly.
cooking, or managing a restaurant, or whatever. So that's
Yeah.
awesome.
These guys give you what you need. Sometimes they give you something that you don't really want. Well, like you said, right? You don't really know.
You don't know until you try.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And us, we're just like, yeah, I don't want more responsibility, you know? But then you do it, you're like, oh, it's not that bad. I actually like it.
I don't know if you can share any of the stories of like people that have successfully graduated and integrated integrated back into the real world,
Yeah.
like what did they end up doing? Like what are they doing for a career? And are they married? Do they have kids? Do they have, you know,
Yeah.
like what's been their life like after?
So we have a few. We have a few. A lot of the graduates, they've stuck around, you
Okay,
know.
yeah.
But the ones that I do know of,
Yeah.
they own their own landscaping businesses. You know, they're in the union. They're in the union in Salt Lake City. I think it's one's an electrician union. The other one's a mason. And another one's a welder in the welding union, which is Steve. So everybody has good jobs. Like we have such great contacts that when you graduate Red Barn, you're able to do
A lot of different
like it's unlimited.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It sounds like some of them might have even kind of started their own business in some sense.
Yep.
Contracting skills that they learned.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
one of our guys. He was a third-year student. He went and got a CDL.
Okay.
Now he drives for Morgan.
Yeah.
Drives a dump truck for them, and he's really working on learning the ins and outs of the business, saving up for his own truck so he can start his own dump truck
Yeah,
business.
that's awesome.
Another one of our graduates here. He's a third-year student as well. Our former kitchen manager. He got a CDL, and that's one thing they're trying to do together.
Yeah.
Another one of our graduates. He stayed a third year. Now he does web and graphic design, coding, things like that.
Yeah.
And it all starts with when you commit to your third year. You can go to the Davis Technical College in
Okay,
Kaysville for free.
Nice.
And so that's what a lot of the guys do. Some of our students are they're in welding, they're in cybersecurity, IT, the web and graphic design, and so that's huge for a lot of us.
Yeah.
I think I saw a truck from DTAC here last week. Is that correct?
Yeah,
They were
we have
doing teaching welding or
Yep,
something?
that's a class I'm in. Mario's done that one himself. We do a culinary and computers do them as well. So when you're early on in the program, you can get a little taste of it. That's one of the board's promises here. One of their big 4 objectives is re-education. And so once you get to your first 90 days, if you don't have your high school diploma or your GED, they help you get that. You go to school at nights 4 times a week while you re-get that. And then once you become a little further on, about 7 months, then you can do the Davis Tech culinary or welding. And then once you become a third year, you can get your CDL or go to school for whatever it is that you want. So that's really something important, is re-educating ourselves so we can have a healthy career.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great. Yeah, I bet.
I mean, oh my God.
Yes.
It's warm in there.
It is warm. Your bud?
Yeah, my bud. I guess.
And then we'll go into the clothing bay. This is actually Ethan's department. He runs the clothing bay.
A little messy right now post Christmas. We've got we have clothing restrictions on the amounts when you're younger in the program.
Okay.
You know, because for many of us, we just got everything. We had no limits, right? And so
Sure.
part of what we practice is really you earn what you get, and then that way you value it more.
Yes.
And you only get your little bit, right? So you learn to take care of what you have. And so
That's awesome.
many of us having to turn in, as we got new items for Christmas, we had to turn in our old stuff. And so
Okay.
it's
It's all in here.
kind of a
So
process.
this isn't the thrift store where the public shops at. This is where
This is for
you
our
guys
students.
get to shop,
Correct.
basically.
Mostly anything that comes in for men will come to Red Barn so we can use.
Yeah.
You know, it's very, because we have 67 men and
Yeah.
you know, we need to clothe them and then shoot everything.
Yeah. So is there like a value that's put, like almost like a price tag, if you will, that they've earned for different things?
So-
or how does that work? Yeah.
So when you first come in, you're stripped of everything. You're not allowed to bring any of your old clothing or anything like that in.
Okay.
And so we have some more basic items over here. You know, we've got fake Nikes and some worn ones and fake Adidas and just shoes that aren't as nice. You know, they're a little bit more humbling. You're just given a plain gray shirt,
Okay.
some not as nice items, right? But then as you work and you earn it, then once you get your red shirt, which is the next phase at 90 days, you get to come out here and shop for an outfit. You know, you can come and get the nice Air Forces and a nice outfit, and then you know that you've worked for that and you earn that. And so as you progress through the program, you get nicer and nicer things.
Okay.
Humbled, not shamed. There's not pink underwear and pink
none of
undershirts
that.
and things.
Yeah. Sure.
It's just a humbling experience.
Exactly.
Nice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We all
Yeah,
wanted
there's no
the nice
humiliation
items.
here.
Yeah, this is all donated by the community.
Yeah.
So we have partnerships with Nike. especially the factory outlet in West Jordan.
Yeah, yeah.
And so sometimes we'll get shoes that maybe have a little scuff or something like that
Or
they can't
return. The
resell.
seconds.
So,
Yeah.
and so they'll donate them to us. Carhartt, Patagonia. There's a lot of supporters
That's awesome.
throughout our community.
That's awesome. What about Cabela's being really close?
We do have a little bit of support from them.
Yeah, yeah.
I think a lot of comes also from like secondhand stores. We get a lot of clothes from secondhand stores, and we go through them and see whatever we can use. If not, we actually redonate a lot of clothes.
Okay.
We redonate to MS. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar. So Friends of
Yeah,
MS.
yep,
So we
yep.
redonate whatever clothes and anything else that we don't use. We redonate
Donate
right to them. You know, we do anywhere from 6 to 7 pallets a week of donations to them of clothes, shoes, every kind of thing that you could think of. And yeah, so whatever we can't use, we'll redonate
Yeah.
every time, whatever it is.
Okay. So for the other clothing that's not men, then that goes to your thrift store if it's usable or
Yes.
whatever, if it's resellable. So like if people wanted to donate clothing, do you take dress clothing? Or household goods? Anything. So if people wanted to do that, do they donate to the thrift store? Do they come here? How would like anybody in our community that had stuff they want to donate, where would they do that?
So I would say the thrift store.
Okay.
You know, contact the thrift department, and they'll take care of it. You can call us, and then we can redirect you.
Okay.
You can give however you want to do. I'll give you a card as well for the thrift store. I don't know if you have one.
I
Just put it on
I
our
don't think I have
website.
any thrift cards. I might have.
We'll just put it on our website that, you know, because
I
some
saw a
people,
bunch of business
some
cards. We'll
people
grab them.
are
Yeah,
able
at
to
the
give
front we can get one.
Yeah.
money, but others they want to give stuff, or maybe
Yeah.
people want to give both or whatever, and just help however they can. Because I take it the proceeds from the thrift store.
It goes right to the program.
Yes. Okay.
So everything goes to the program. We actually don't get paid for any of the work we do.
Yeah.
What we do get paid with is saving our lives.
Yeah.
Doing something different and changing.
Yeah.
You know, the first 2 years is nothing but being able to be of service. Because in our past we've been taken from the community our whole time. So now it's time to give back.
Yeah.
And that's what's been helping us, you know, save our life, because we haven't done that in the past.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
Do you accept volunteers to come here for folks who have time, talent, or treasure? If they have time, do you have opportunities? Is it like a daily or a monthly or a seasonally thing, or?
So mostly, yeah, I would say go ahead.
I'll say one thing that we have is we have a lot of people who come out to speak with us, share their time that way. We do it every other Tuesday. It's what we call our task. It's the Academy Speaks Knowledge. And so these guys come out. We had a guy who came out. He's a therapist. He came out and talked to us. We have prospective employers. We have all sorts of like self-help people who write self-help books, things like that. And they come and they spend their time and they talk to us. You know, maybe about public speaking, or about you know just all sorts of
Just
things
like
to help better us, right? It's
development,
it's really different
Exactly.
every
Leadership
week
skills
what it is, and so leadership
Okay.
skills and
Yeah.
Communication, and you know, effective communication, and, you know, just how we can grow as humans. You know, they share their stories. You know, there's a lot. All of us have a story, whether it be based around drug addiction or not. We all have a story. So they come and share their story. You know, and a lot of the ones that have always touched me is seeing the other side of the coin, right? Family, you know, a family member comes in and they share their story of what it's like because they lost a family member or whatever, of what it was like to live with a drug user or an abuser, so whatever it was. And that's what's helped me out the most, because sometimes I don't see that side.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, I only see my side. And being able to see and reflect on what I put others through has helped me in my transformation here at Red Barn.
Perspective check.
Exactly. And that's been a detrimental part of my program.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So this is the clothing bay.
Yeah, that's cool. You're doing
We
a
got
good
a
job in here, Ethan.
bunch of shoes up
You
here.
can organize my closet.
Yeah, he does a great job.
I was going to ask, you contract out?
Right?
Part of the moving business, you know, you could help with the setup and the organization.
We do that actually. So.
Do you really? It's fantastic.
He's in charge of all the younger guys in the house.
Oh,
He's
nice.
probably got the most important job of all of
When
us.
you say younger, do you mean
Most
under
difficult.
age, or younger and how long they've been here?
Yeah, the
Okay,
younger guys in the
okay.
program. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Some of them are older than me.
Sure.
What is the age range?
Oh,
So,
that's a good question.
It's 18 to, I think our oldest is like 57, something like that. Our average age is 35 though.
At any age, as long as you want to change your life.
Yeah.
a lot of the younger guys don't always make it because
They just don't know
They're not
yet.
they
ready.
haven't gone through
And
enough,
that's the
but
new kitchen, I think.
maturity level.
That's where we dropped off the food anyways, is in that building. That's where we met Robert.
Have you had pain failed in the first 3 days or at any point and then came back and were successful? Have you had any? I know you guys are still pretty new.
So to be honest with you, we had one.
Yeah. Okay.
And his name was Charles, and he actually just graduated.
Okay.
And
He
what
was
was
here-
his situation?
He was here for 4 months,
Uh-huh.
and he decided to leave. He decided to leave. He said he decided one day, you know, I've had enough. I'm sick of you guys, you know, treating me a certain way. You know, he personalized it. He said, I'm gone. I'm going back home. And he was actually from Arkansas, Iowa.
Kansas.
He was from Kansas.
Okay.
And he left. He went. I don't know where he went.
Just to the gas
You
station.
know, he went to the gas station. He went all over. And he
called
called
home.
his mom, and he said, "Hey, mom, I'm sick of this place. These guys are treating me like this and that." His mom said, "Hey, you're not coming back home. Go back and finish that program, or else you're not coming back home."
Good job, Mom.
Yeah.
And he came back that same day, that night, and then the rest is history.
Yeah.
Do you have people from all over the country come here, or is it just mostly Utah?
Mostly Utah, but we accept guys from all over the place.
Got some guys from Florida, from Arizona,
Texas,
California, Texas.
Nevada, Las Vegas, like
Yeah.
all over. As long as you want to change, we're willing to.
So are you from Utah?
I'm from Utah,
You're
yes.
Or are you from Utah?
Yeah, here in
and
Mexico,
there.
yeah.
Okay.
But I actually came from Las Vegas before I came here.
Okay. Yeah. That's
And
awesome.
one other thing too, a lot of our graduates, especially a lot of the ones who became staff, they've all gone through a restart. You know, they had those moments where they could have left and you know they weren't holding their brothers accountable, they weren't living clean, and they did restart. And I mean now they really are a success story. You know, they stayed 3 years and now they're helping save more lives. So
Yeah.
That's been
It's
awesome.
part
we all
of,
have a journey.
this might be too personal, but it's part of the integration. Also, kind of like identifying the people in your former life that were part of the problem, and how do you do they encourage you not to interact with them? Do they encourage you to have a healthy relationship? Like that part to me would be, I think, really challenging.
Yeah.
You know.
So, to answer that question, it would be that the basis of this program is behavior modification
Okay.
and character development,
Okay.
which is how to set boundaries, how to plant stakes, and how to tell people how to treat you.
Yeah.
And what they can and cannot do around you.
Okay.
So that's what we practice here.
Yeah.
So when we do graduate the program, if somebody's doing something, you know, even if I don't care if it's my family member.
Sure.
If they're doing something that's going to be detrimental to my life, I will let them know, hey, you can't be doing that around me, or
Yeah.
else I don't want you part of my life.
Yeah.
You know, so we.
I think that's very
So,
healthy
and
way
that-
to live. It's a very healthy way to live
Probably
life.
not easy, but healthy.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's,
yeah.
it's,
And it's not easy, you know.
Yeah.
For about 12 months of my program, I didn't know how to hold anybody accountable.
Sure.
You know, I just wanted to say, oh, I seen it, but you know what? I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I don't want, you know, I want no part of it.
Yeah.
But that's how I was my whole life.
Yeah.
You know, if it wasn't affecting me, I don't want no part of it.
Yeah.
And so what we practice here is what's called accountability group.
Okay.
We have that group twice a week, and it's when we sit around in a circle, all of us, and during the week we tell each other where we fall short. If today Ethan was acting immature or whatever it is, I tell him, hey, you can't act that way.
Yeah.
And then in that circle, in that group, I tell them, I'm like, hey, the other day when we were on a tour, man, you were acting entitled, and I tell them,
You're good, Ethan.
Ethan's all, come on.
and I tell him, you know, I tell him to his face how it affected me,
Sure.
how it affected you guys,
Yeah.
and how it could affect him and his family, or not his family, because we can't talk about family in there, but
Okay.
how it affected him and how it could affect anybody that around here.
interact
This family.
Yeah.
How can it affect
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
family?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The concept,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
And everybody gets to chime in. Everybody gets to tell. It gets colorful.
It's just a good
I'm
idea.
sure
for,
it gets colorful.
It gets
it's just a
loud.
good idea for families to do. You know.
Yeah.
And the best part
Only
about
when
it,
they
or
love
one of the
fights.
toughest parts, is that when Mario is bringing that to me and everyone else is giving me feedback, I'm not allowed to say anything. I have to sit there and I have to hear what they're saying. It's about 15 minutes or so average, and you really get to listen to it. And then at the end, you get to tell everybody back what you heard from what they told you.
I
Oh,
love
yeah.
that part.
Very
Where
good.
you fell short and
That's
what
awesome.
you could do
That's
better.
awesome.
And then,
I might do that with. I have 6 kids, and
Perfect.
so.
Called the family
That's actually
check-in.
Really
That'd be a good
idea.
circle.
It's the family
In a
check-in.
nice, peaceful environment. Let
Set a
everybody
timer.
Say, here's what you're doing that's bothering me. You know, instead of of just like
Conflict resolution.
instead of just standing there and then all of a sudden losing their minds, you're like, what is wrong? What happened?
There's a level of humility with what
Yeah.
I'm guessing too, because if I just sit there and
very
take it.
You have to
Yeah.
sit there quiet.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
people don't take criticism
Yeah,
well.
you got to keep a straight face too.
Yeah.
You can't be mean mugging. You can't be.
Gotta keep eye contact.
You got to have a neutral face.
I have no inside face. Like, it doesn't happen.
My brother and his business partner actually do that.
Yeah, a lot of companies do that.
Yeah.
It makes sense, but it's hard not to take it personal.
Yeah.
That's the part that's the tricky part, is to say, well, you know, I would take it like I still sort of with that. Cass and I've had conversations where I take stuff personally, and I'm like, wait, nope, it's not personal.
Yes.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's not an
was-
attack,
It is
right?
hard.
It was
Yeah.
very tough for me at
I'm
first.
sure.
Like Mario especially, when he brought these things to me when I first got here, I was brand new and I was thinking, who is this guy? Who doesn't know me? He doesn't really know what's going on. And some of these older guys who brought these behaviors to light, right? And at first I really just did not like them. But as I've grown further along in the program, I realized that it's all out of love. It's
Yeah.
because he saw something in me that I didn't see in myself at that time. And he saw that I was capable of being better and doing
Yeah.
better.
I
And
love
so
that.
now it's like those people that brought that to me, that hold me accountable, those are the people that I want, that always have a seat at my
Yes.
table and who
Yeah.
are going to be in my life forever, because they're the people who actually
They
care
care
about
That's
about you.
what I was
They
gonna
love
say.
you.
They actually care. Yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. And that's to answer your question. That's how we do it.
Okay.
Because when we graduate,
Yeah.
we'll be able to do that in a healthy manner.
Yeah.
You know, we won't allow none of that BS around us anymore.
Yeah. That's
You know,
good.
'cause that's what drags us down our whole life.
Right.
It's bad choices.
Yep.
You know, the people were a
Bad
part of it,
influences.
but our choices, because we get a choice. You know, that's what we learn here, is that we don't get to point fingers and say it was him, it was him, it was her. It's us.
Yeah.
We get to make the choice.
Yeah.
You know, that's why we don't talk about our past, we don't talk about our feelings. What we talk about is how we can grow as a human being.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, and
That's awesome.
that's what's helped me. Because before that's how I would be. I'd be like, it was them. It wasn't me. But now I'm able to take accountability on my own actions.
Yeah.
Because I'm my own man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's
That's
fantastic.
good. That's actually a major growth for anybody.
It's a hard transition. It took me about a year to really grasp the whole subject, you know? Because I personalize everything as well.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a natural tendency as humans is to personalize
You
stuff.
know, anger was one of my big issues, and luckily with that process, because it was in such a big group, that, you know, anger, I mean, I'm not gonna do nothing crazy in front of 60 guys,
Yeah.
so I was able to take, you know, kind of
Work on it.
be able to work on that anger issue that I have now. I'm able to breathe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whenever something stressful comes my way, my biggest tool is to breathe.
Yeah.
Breathe, take a few seconds, calm down, get centered, and then go about my business.
So that's a very mature attitude.
It is.
And at 54, I could use some help with that. How do you guys deal with, it's got to be a bit of a melting pot with regards to where everybody is in their own life and station, if things get a little heated?
So remember those benches that we told you about
Yes.
in the beginning of the
Yeah.
tour? So that's the tool.
Do you pick them up and put them on the bench if they're not identifying
Yeah,
they need to sit on the
We'll
bench?
just
Like,
tell them, hey, come here. Let's go sit up, take a seat on the bench. So we don't fight fire with fire.
good.
If somebody's angry, we're not going to yell at them.
Yeah.
We're not going to scream at them, because you can't fight fire with fire.
Yeah.
You tell them, okay, no problem. Yeah, come on, let's go. You sit them down on the bench, tell them sit there, think about what you're doing right now. Take a breath, right? If you're not able to take a breath on your own, we will help you take that breath. And then after they thought about it, then their consequence comes, right?
Yeah.
For their action, and that's when all that comes.
Okay.
But yes, that's how we do that. And we're a lot of the older guys in the program. We're like mentors here. You know, we have leadership council. We have 3 house managers. We have 6 tribe leaders, 6 tribe strengths. Like, we all have different tribes. I think there's 6 tribes right now, 6 tribes. And so every house manager has 2 tribes that they deal with. I'm actually one of the house managers, so I'm able to help out with any of these conflicts. And yeah, it happens quite a bit.
Who do you go to as the
Me?
tribe manager?
And so yeah,
To the other tribe managers?
we do it. It's Nicholas, Kevin,
Okay.
Logan, Jeffrey. There's a few of the older guys. Between house managers, I always communicate with them. But even to this day, sometimes I get prideful too, right? And I'm sometimes I don't want to share my feelings, but I get to work through that. I get to share those feelings that I don't want to share, and that's what's helped me out, is being able to open up. Because in my past, I don't want to burden nobody with my own problems, right? Because I felt like I'm less than a man. You know, I'm less than. But now I'm able to do that. I'm able to go to these guys and be like, hey, I'm feeling this type of way, you know, and they help me through these things.
So as a grandma and a mom and a wife and a woman, I want to tell you how empowering it is for me to hear a man say that. For somebody to say, I felt less than, was prideful, I was all of this, I want to congratulate you and thank you.
Thank you. That was my biggest challenge here, you know, is my pride, my ego.
It probably is for a lot of people.
I would say 90% of the people in the world have pride problems.
Yes.
And this is our library.
Okay.
So after 90 days in the program, anything you want to explain to it?
Yeah, so when you first get here, there's a book that we all read. It's about basically seeing people as objects and as humans. And so we get to read that, and we get to write book reports on that every week. But then after you've been here for 90 days, you can come pick out a book of your choice. So you're still going to read a self-help book, and you're going to work on another book report for that before you go to the next phase.
Yeah.
But in your free time, you can read.
Okay.
So it's for a lot of us. I know myself, Mario included. That's part of my self-care routine.
Yeah.
Is to come here, and every night that's part of how I unwind. You know, I meditate for a few minutes. I read a book, and I center myself. And for a lot of us, being able to come in here, you know, we work 6 days a week, but for a little bit of time before work and after work, being able to come in here, connect, sit down, read, and unwind is very important.
So I take it you guys accept book donations too, probably.
Yes. Yeah, books is very important to us. I think that the mind is probably the biggest muscle in our body. And so you have to exercise it, right?
Yeah.
In order to do that, that's by books. And I didn't understand that before. I thought that people that read books were nerds. You know, I mean, bottom line.
Ouch!
Bottom line, that's
Big
how,
nerd.
that's how I felt.
That's
how I felt.
Yeah.
And now I can't help myself off of it. Like books are intriguing, man. It's like there's so much to learn in all these books. So I read a self-help book and a fantasy book at the same time. You know, I'll read a fantasy book and then I'll read my self-help book right before bed.
Yeah.
You know, right now I'm reading Tony Robbins' Financial Freedom.
Oh, that's a good one.
Because I'm trying to learn a little more about finances and how to secure, you know, my future retirement. You know, that's very important.
Yeah.
And so,
Good for you.
you know, and I never even used to speak this way. This is crazy. Like my vocabulary has changed so much since I've been here.
Yeah.
You know, before I used to use nothing but foul language all the time. I couldn't really be professional. I worked in the mining industry, you know, about 9 years. And in that industry, I mean, you don't really, there's no, you know, it's like a trucker mouth, right? You know, so.
Yeah.
That's what our oldest is, an electrician,
Yeah.
around the trades all the time, and he says that's the lazy language.
Yeah, it is. And it's just like that common language, right? And but we sound so unprofessional. And I didn't realize that till I got here. And my older brothers here were like, man, you sound so unprofessional. You know, and I didn't really realize it until I started changing my vocabulary, and then the younger guys come in, and then I hear them, and then I'm like, it does sound very unprofessional. So that's how we learn.
What's your favorite genre outside of self-help?
Probably fantasy.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, fantasy, history books.
Yeah, I love history. Those are my favorite.
Yeah, history.
Yeah.
That's my second. You guys want to go to the gym? Area? This is Sean. He's actually a third. He's on his workout. He's just finishing up his third year.
Nice.
He's one of the stronger guys here. So this is our
How many
gym.
plates are on that?
Yeah. This is our gym. So this is my next favorite part is the gym. Come in here and unwind, you know, and work out, because on the moving company, man, you lift a lot of heavy things.
Yeah.
And so this is kind of what helps you prepare for all that.
Do you have any physical therapists or anything like that come in and help with ergonomics and things like?
We just each one teach one. Like Sean taught me how to lift, you know, and the guy before him taught him, and I teach the next guy. So we teach each other the ergonomics on the job, you know, ultimately. But we do have a partnership with chiropractors.
Good.
So in case anybody does get hurt, then we send them right to the chiropractor. They get fixed up, and then they take some time off.
Yeah. Nice.
You know, but this is what gets your back strong right here. Thanks, Sean. I'll turn up your music. Yeah, you're welcome.
So you mentioned that you guys work 6 days a week. So did you take Sundays off?
We do, yes.
And so what does your Sundays look like?
So our Sundays,
Sorry.
we do,
Sorry, you guys.
more individuals tribes, 6 different tribes.
Yeah.
We each rotate, and so on Sundays, that tribe is responsible for all the meals.
Okay.
And so we get to really make something that we like, the kind of food that we want to teach to show to everybody.
Okay.
And then we get to unwind, whether we're coming in here playing air hockey, ping pong, pool, watching TV, working out, making music.
Nice.
Playing old school arcade games, or some darts, or weeding. And so it's really just our self-care time, our personal time on Sundays.
We don't get a lot of time off, but when we do,
You do it up right.
We work hard, we play hard. On Sundays, especially when it's warm, we like to break out the pickleball nets, and we'll play a lot of pickleball. We shoot hoops.
Yeah.
In the summer, we go hiking almost every week.
Nice.
And so it's
Nice.
a nice little time to unwind.
Yeah.
yeah, it's been growing. Like all these chairs got donated. These weren't here when I first got here.
Okay.
Like, all these chairs been donated. That arcade system got donated. We bought that for Christmas. It's for Christmas this year.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
How fun.
it's just been growing.
Yeah. Is that a barber's chair?
Yeah, it's a barber shop right here.
Nice.
Honest
Oh,
barbershop?
wow. Yeah. On site.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you have somebody that learns
No,
that?
Come here.
Are you the barber?
No, he is one of the barbers.
Okay.
I'm Mazzelli. I'm the intern manager.
Okay.
So, I'm in charge of the guys' first 90 days of the program.
Oh, wow.
Basically, that's the most fragile part of the program, like,
Yeah.
because you don't know whether you want it or you don't.
Sure.
And, yeah, my job is just basically to make sure that they see the magic, see, basically speaking off experience, because I know that was the hardest part of my program, because there's a lot of self-doubt, there's, you don't know what you want really, yeah, I'm just in your cleaning.
What about, can you share a little bit about the barbershop? How it got started, what, each one teach one?
The barbershop, so it's one of the responsibilities that we have here, one of the jobs. For me, I am a barber. I've been a barber for about a year. There's certain different haircuts that you can get. When you first get here, you're an intern. It's the first 90 days part. You can only have a 2-guard all the way around. A lot of guys come in with dreadlocks or whatever it looks like, long hair, and a lot of them hold on to that. But in all reality, it's a whole person change, and it all starts off with getting your hair cut, and then you have to be clean shaven. And for each stage of the program, you get to earn something. So after the first 90 days, you become a freshman. That's the next stage. Then you're able to get a low fade. It's because that's what we do. Everything is earned here. A lot of the things, and it all starts off with just simple things as haircuts.
Yeah.
Like, and in all reality, it's a cool thing. It's a big thing for me, because guys like us, we like to take things, and now to finally be able to earn things, then you get to appreciate what you get and things of that sort.
I'm curious. It says if balding that you need to have approval.
Yes.
Can I ask why?
Why?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a great question.
So you ask approval.
Yeah.
From the program director because you have to earn it as well,
Yeah.
right? So if you're balding at it as an intern or as a resident or as a freshman, you have to ask, if you can get if you can shave your head.
And not only that, it's just your building humility. So like guys like me, so like I'm balding, so I'm able to, because I'm a senior resident, so like I'm able to get any approved haircut. So I had to get it approved, and it's about building humility.
So you have one of the toughest jobs, I would think, because you know from experience what the program does.
Yes.
And you're there trying to mentor them through their fragile phase.
Yes.
And you want it for them.
Yes. And
More than they want it for them.
Sometimes, yes.
Wow.
And it gets frustrating and it gets hard sometimes because I want them to see what I see,
Yeah,
but
the bigger picture.
in all reality, I have to also remember that I was there too. So like, it's hard. It's really hard, you know, like just a lot of the things. But you have to realize also that there's always a bigger picture, and we all are in a school, you know. So we're always constantly learning something. I'm learning something every day, regardless of what it is, who it is, and you know, there's this thing that we taught in leadership. It's called motivational interviewing. We have to go to their level, you know, and it's a cool thing, you know, like, because like the stage of the program that I'm in now, I'm able to get out of myself and do something for somebody else, you know, because in the beginning part, you don't have to, all you have to do is worry about yourself, you know, and kind of just get through it, you know, like in my mind, I was just jumping through the hoops in the beginning, but there's no hoops here, you know, like it's more than that. You have to participate because it is a school.
So if you think you're jumping through the hoops and you're pulling the wool over anybody's eyes, you can't do that.
Not here. Not here.
You're not doing that here.
You know, not here at all. You know, but like for me, going through the program, being in almost 16 months, I like the person I'm becoming. So like, you know, in all reality, like I finally get to see my family, my kids, and things of that sort. And they've always known, because I've done jail, I've done prison, and I've never learned anything. You know, my intentions were always good when I first got out, and you know, consistency, and that's what we learn here, is to learn to be consistent in everything we do. You know, and the only thing I was consistent at out there was messing up. You know, I would do well for a little bit, and then I'd fall off. It always happened, and that's what we do here.
Can I ask how old your kids are?
My kids, 25. I have a 25-year-old. I have another one that just went on her mission. She's 18, and then I have a 13 and a 11-year-old. All girls.
Oh, daddy.
Yeah.
Oh.
So like, but my girls, I mean, I'm blessed because my ex-wife, she's a very good person. She's been that person that's always been the one that does what we do here. She pulled me up. She always constantly told me, stop hanging out with those people, stop doing these things, and I always kept pushing her away. And you know, like, I blamed her for a lot of my mistakes, a lot of my things, and I never realized that until I got here, honestly, you know, like, because I never owned anything before. Before I always played the victim, and that's what we all do, you know, and in all reality, we never realized that or noticed that until we got here, you know.
Sure.
Or for me, at least, I'm just speaking out of my experience, you know. And I've told her many times, you know, I'm sorry, you know, I apologize, you know, because I treated her really bad a lot of times, you know, but we're always blind to that, especially when we're under substance.
In the middle of it.
You know, under substance and stuff like that. Yeah.
What an example for your girls of what to look for in a man, in a partner, in a life partner.
Exactly. And that's just basically what I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be the man that they would want to be. You know what I mean? Like, I have to be an example and a role model, somebody that they look up to, and that's what I'm trying to be, you know.
I need an inch off the back.
There you go, Nelly, you sit down. Thanks, Nelly.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It was nice to meet you.
Yeah, pleasure.
Barber shop.
Literally though, I need an inch off the back.
Yeah.
So basically, they don't have to have any reason to leave,
That's why
other than maybe medical.
this is the community. Like, we have everything you can get out there, we have here.
Yeah.
It's a full community here. Therapeutic community.
So that is a topic that I wanted to ask about, and that is if you have a medical, because you have folks, are they already detoxed when they get here because they're coming out of jail, or?
So no, if we're not a detox center,
right?
So if they come here and we see that they're under the influence, or you know, if they're suffering that way, then right across, I think it's over here, off Station Park or in Kaysville, they have a detox center. It's a receiving center, and we'll take them to the receiving center. When they're ready to come back, we go take them, and we go pick them up, and then we'll send them back on the bench. And when they're ready, we'll take them.
So do you have like a direct line to them? Because there are waiting lists to get into detox centers.
Yeah, we have a direct line, and we take them right over there.
Nice.
So you usually have a few beds open just in case. What kind of drugs, probably?
Oh, okay.
And how long they've been using?
About a week. About a week.
One of the most uncomfortable weeks of their life.
I wouldn't say opiates and alcohol.
I'm sorry, what was that question, Cassie?
What's the worst? So the ones that are, what's the worst types of substance? And, you know, he said opioids and alcohol.
Probably the withdrawal.
The withdrawal.
Right.
Yeah, the withdrawal. I'll give you guys. You guys go upstairs and I'll give you guys a tour of what it looks like upstairs. Greenhouse. Up here is our camp house.
That smells good.
Yep. This is like it's a dorm setting. Yeah. This is where our students live their first 2 years. And everything's got to be tour ready up here. I think Robert's cooking. Yeah. It's like chicken in there.
I smell French fries or something fried.
Everything's got to be tour ready.
Wow. I'm impressed.
The blankets got to be nice and tucked.
Military.
The mattress, exactly, military style.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
Everything's got to be tour ready. Pillows fluffed, blanket nice at the foot of the bed.
Yeah.
Drawers, if you open up a drawer, they'll all be tidy.
So is there a consequence like if you come up here and somebody's space isn't tidy?
So remember the process that I was talking to you about earlier about the circle? It's the same thing. So we have responsibility up here. We have 2 dorm clerks and a dorm head. So the clerks come in here and they'll check it during the week. If they see something's not right, the bed's not made, you let them know.
Yeah.
When you see the guy say, hey, your bed was a mess, and he already knows. He already knows, okay, thank you. And he has to say, okay, and thank you. I don't know if you heard of Zelly when he said that pull-up. So that's what a pull-up is.
Okay.
Like if Ethan was being entitled or whatever it was, I tell him, hey, you can't do that. That's a pull-up. And he's got to say, okay, and thank you, because if he doesn't, when we take it to group, then it's going to go twice as hard for him because he's pushing. It was called pushing back and justifying your behavior.
Okay.
And that's unacceptable.
So is there a specific wake-up time and bedtime and all that?
I saw the schedule out there.
Yep.
It's like 4:45.
For interns,
Sundays.
For interns, and as the first 9 days, their regular job, they got to be on the floor by 5:30 to work, ready to work.
That's awesome.
They got to help for breakfast. Breakfast is at 6:30.
Okay.
And for freshmen and up, you have to be down there by 6:45.
Okay.
By 6:45, and you're usually in bed by
9 to 11.
9 to 11.
The earliest you can go to bed is 9,
Okay.
and then you can stay up to 11 if you want.
Yeah.
And
And
so
you just stay up and read and whatever.
yeah, read, connect, things like that. And part of what you were asking about, you know, if your stuff isn't all cleaned up, is that part of that circle and things like that is you get dishes. You know, you get what we call our community service, and so you get to work after the work day. And so that's really a time where you don't get to talk to anybody. All you can do is you work for those couple extra hours, and you think about where you fell short, and you think about what you can do better next time. And so that's really what helps us grow.
Nice.
It helps create that, you know,
Accountability.
exactly that accountability and that good habit, right?
Yeah.
Because you know you don't want to do more hours.
Right?
You're already tired.
Like I'm done. I don't want to work anymore.
Everything in here has got to be put ready. You know, underneath the bed,
Yeah.
the lockers.
I'm impressed.
You know,
Like I get my 6 kids.
Right?
you know everything.
The same thing.
Right?
Everywhere you look.
How often do you guys give tours then?
Whenever we have anybody ask for it.
Yeah. I just didn't know if it was like several times a day or.
I mean, sometimes we give them sometimes a few times a week.
Okay.
But yeah, not like it's not a regular thing.
Okay. They just have to be tour ready just in case.
You guys probably all have like laundry services on staff here on location too, right?
Yeah, we have. I'll show you that downstairs. We have a big. Look here. The bathroom's got to be tour ready too. We clean them every morning.
Wow.
Everything. You look at the chrome. All the chrome, everything's clean.
Yep.
All the chrome, all around, everything's tidy.
Yeah.
The mirrors, everything's got to be nice and spotless every morning.
That is
So
cool.
whenever anybody washes their hands, you grab yourself a rag and you wipe it down, clean the chrome
Look at
every
how
time.
clean that chrome is.
So guys, everything's got to be
I'm
spotless.
impressed.
Because in our past, a lot of us didn't know how to clean.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, especially as a man, right? The look of a man is always like they're sloppy, they're a mess, they don't want to take care of anything.
Yeah.
But if you look, we do, right?
Yeah.
We learn that here. That we can take care of things. Can you
Yeah.
turn the light up there? Yeah. You know, we can do it. It's just we not being lazy.
Yeah.
You know, we expect a woman to do all the cleaning.
Yeah.
You know, but at the end of the day, it's 50-50, right? In a relationship. So
Yeah.
we learn here how to do that, how to actually clean.
That's impressive.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
Yes.
everywhere you look, it's nice and tidy.
Yeah.
If not, you can get more dishes.
And I'm sure that like feeding 60 people is quite a bit of dishes.
And doing dishes doesn't necessarily mean you're doing dishes. You can be out there shoveling snow.
Sure.
You can be wiping this wall down the whole time. Like whatever the house coverage tells you to do, that's what you're doing.
That's what you're doing.
Yeah. Vacuuming all the rugs, you know, whatever they tell you, whatever the house needs, that's what you do.
Yeah.
You're making your house beautiful anyways. It's not like,
It's,
you know.
you take pride in that too.
What are you guys burning, man? This is Corey. He's actually he's on his workout too. He's one of the graduates.
Hello.
How are you? This is our camp house.
Okay.
This is where we come. We have our morning meetings. We our lunch, breakfast, dinner, everything. That's our laundry facilities back there. If you want to take a look, you can.
Who does the laundry for the
The first 90 days, the interns, they take care of all the laundry for the house.
Okay. So you don't have to do your laundry.
So I do. Anybody that lives up there as a third year, we do our own laundry.
Oh, you do your own. Yeah, okay.
But anybody who lives in here, the insurance do their laundry. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Yes.
Yeah, it was different when I started doing my own laundry. I was just like, this is weird. And then you got to balance the time, like when to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, once you
Not
get a
leaving
group,
it in the
it's
washer overnight.
yeah, exactly.
Reinvent.
And then you got all these nicer clothes. Yeah, it's,
Washer, dryer, and putting away is 5 to 7 work days.
Right?
I know.
Yeah.
I didn't know how much work it was to do all this stuff.
Right?
You know? Yeah. I never cooked, cleaned. I never did my own laundry. Like, it's new,
Yeah.
but it's worth it though.
Yeah.
All these pieces are stuff that we've done around, you know, during the years. Yeah, that's our founder right here.
Yeah.
Rich Haas. Rich Haas and his wife.
I'm well. How are you?
Well, thank you very much. Enjoying the tour?
Very much so.
That's
yes,
good.
learning a lot. How do you like your kitchen?
I like it.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Did you cook before you got here?
I have. Well, like a self-taught cook. My mom taught me how to cook. So,
Nice.
yeah,
Does he live here all the time?
now it's just what we're cooking on
Large scale.
large scale, yeah, which is really cool.
We're Italian, and we're trying to learn how to cook for just 2 of us now.
You want to try to cook for two?
It's difficult.
Well, perfect. Jump right on in. You'll learn how to cook real fast.
Real.
Yeah.
Of this size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could do a lot of damage in here.
Right?
It helps out a lot with the kitchen this size. Just everybody's just willing to jump in and just help out wherever, you know. So, it's good.
That's pretty awesome.
Great.
Thank you.
What are you guys cooking, man?
Chicken sandwiches.
Okay.
We knew we smelled that.
Sounds like a really good guy.
Yeah.
Steve. Real quick, he's one of the younger guys. Can you tell these guys a little bit about yourself? You know, where you come from, what Red Barn is doing for you, man.
I came from Baltimore, flew to Florida, and then my life wasn't going too good, so I know somebody here. They got in contact with Red Barn, and Red Barn saved my life. Yeah, I have to be grateful to Red Barn every day, and the leaders here help me out.
How long have you been here?
About 5 days.
Oh, 5 days.
Oh.
So you were new.
You're very new.
He's one of the younger guys in
Sometimes
the
I
house.
get in my head and all these guys talk to me, and they're
Yeah.
great.
So you came from Florida 5 days ago. Yes.
Took 5 hours to get here.
Welcome to the winter.
I was gonna say you can't.
Yeah.
It's really cold. I'm sure. I'm sure.
So
I
has
lived
it
in
been
Florida for 2
hard?
years.
Has it been a hard 5 days? Has it been exactly what the doctor ordered? It sounds like.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, it's been tough here and there, but I've been in my own head. So
Sure. Yeah. Well, good luck. Keep with it.
thank you.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you.
sounds
Let's
like
get
you're-
through the tour, baby.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much for your time. I want to come cook with you. Yeah, I do.
Open anytime.
Hey, honey.
Come on in.
Anytime.
That's Nick with the son, David. That's his little scooter. He comes around here all the time, buzzes around.
That's the
So that's the
D-Tac.
welding trailer.
Here's up.
Here, twice. Yeah, it's on-site training. They come here. They're gonna start doing it twice a year. To do the training, it's very beneficial.
Yeah.
Culinary welding. I think he Ethan was kind of touching on it.
Yeah.
I've done the welding and I've done the computer class. I've been cornered. I'm not much of a but I think I might do it if he comes back.
I'm not back there.
I do like to cook, but I'm so surprised that I'm like, what can you do? You know what I mean? In my mind, that's.
I sure don't teach you
Yeah, I know.
I know I can learn a lot if somebody taught
But that's
me
how my mind works. I know. I'm just like, I'll just take a class I already know how to do.
Sure. I understand.
I tried that once when I first started college. I took a Spanish class.
Yeah.
Teacher real quick. I already knew.
That's just how it works. I took Spanish my whole life, and I already know Spanish.
Same.
You said you're from Mexico originally? What part?
Jalisco.
Where's the word?
Jalisco?
Guadalajara. Yeah, it's like central, central.
Okay.
About west. I don't know if you know like Sinaloa is or Puerto Vallarta. You know what Puerto Vallarta is?
Yeah, I do.
So it's part of Jalisco. Yep.
So is this a smoke-free campus?
It is, yeah.
I see nobody vaping, nobody smoking, see no remnants of any.
Yeah, no tobacco here.
Oh, really?
So what about vaping, non-tobacco?
Yeah.
None of that.
I knew a lot of
It's full person change.
Yeah.
Wow.
At the fields.
Yep.
Yeah. And this is the office. This is the our office. So Arbinger owns this whole building.
Okay. And what is Arbinger?
Arbinger Institute is a leadership skills outfit
Okay.
that they teach leadership skills all around the world to Fortune 500 companies.
Got it.
And then so we're fortunate enough to be part of their their team. They come and they actually give us books, all the Arbinger books, and that's what Ethan was saying. The leadership and self-deception, they're by Arbinger Institute.
Okay.
And that's what we teach the first 90 days is how to have those leadership skills for the beginning.
Yeah.
And so that's why all of us get to learn to be good leaders.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
we get firsthand. They do presentations, in our facility a couple times a year. I've enjoyed like 2 or 3 of them. They're phenomenal. They're really good.
So there's been a lot of talk about folks coming from different places in their lives as well as in the country.
Yeah.
Not everybody comes in without their GED or their diploma.
Yeah.
What types of careers have people left from the outside and come here with?
So I don't know if you noticed Toppy, the one that was in the kitchen in the blue shirt.
Yeah.
So he's actually an electrician by trade.
Okay.
And he decided he was done with his old life because he still worked. He still worked, but he's just like, you know
Functional.
what, I'm done. Like I'm done living this duplicit life. And then he suffered some losses. He came here and changed his life. But we have people from all walks of life. We have college graduates. Well, Travis is actually a college graduate. Travis, you mind sharing a little bit of your story? Sure. With these guys? That's crazy, right?
Right on the spot.
Boom! That public speaking's about to kick in.
But their question is, all kind of walks of life. What kind of people's backgrounds, from education-wise, and then come into Red Barn?
Well, I think, for me, I was a pretty unique situation for this place. I had come here and I had lived in Salt Lake City. I had been part of the recovery community here. And with that, I had befriended one of our founders, Michael Haas, just through FTR, which is Fit to Recover down in Salt Lake City. And so my family is very involved with the recovery community here. Both my brother and sister are therapists, and so for me, I went back to Minneapolis. I had some time under my belt, and for the first time ever, after some time period up there and living in recovery there, I took a step backwards, and my ex-wife had enough, essentially, and she said, "You better do something pretty crazy." And my brother and sister, who had helped me get into multiple recovery programs, just based on their connections, were just like, "No, call Michael, do something weird, do something a little bit different," And so then I called, and without some of my best interests, I just said, "Here it is." And once I got here, there was no turning back. I wasn't gonna just quit a program because it was hard or because I didn't like to. And ultimately, it's because my daughter deserves me to be better. I deserve to be better, and so I stuck it out, and at some point there became a turning point where I got to be able to make it for other people and find value in what I was doing.
Yeah.
You know, didn't come easy, but you know, here I am almost 20 months later, and you know, clearly my relationships have changed. I've changed. I've become a lot more humble than I was, and there's just opportunities that I wouldn't have had if I would have just not decided to be happy. And ultimately, my recovery here has allowed me to see people a little bit differently. I'm not a criminal, so it's allowed me to see that, you know, I can live in this kind of environment and see people as people, and not really judge them for their behaviors, because God knows I have mine. It just didn't land me in jail, you know. But I definitely have my own issues, and so ultimately it was a full person change, and I kept the good attributes I had, and then I've just gotten to build on other ones. So.
Awesome.
Thank you for sharing that.
Thanks, Travis.
Good enough.
I love it.
Well, I didn't know what we were looking for. It was kind of a snapshot.
I think
loved it. That was awesome.
I think a lot of people, when they hear recovery program, they think it's folks who don't have their GEDs or who don't have, I don't know how to explain, a home, or, you know, that they're coming from a part, stereotypical less than. And it's not that at all. It's across all walks of life and socioeconomic, cultural, everything.
It is, and yeah, it truly is, and this place does get every walks of life. I am unique, but not unique enough to know that addiction hasn't taken a hold of my life, you know, and ultimately, like, I could stay sober, I just didn't know what recovery meant. I could say I lived in recovery, but not until I had some time here, and I got to just, to be honest, when women weren't a part of my life, or financially, like, I didn't have to worry about some of those things. Did I get to take a step back and look at the big picture? And ultimately, I was just living. I wasn't grasping like what happiness or joy meant. You know, I just kind of did the next best thing I could, and that was like, you know, ultimately I wasn't happy. I was just doing everything for selfishly almost, but that wasn't going to give me happiness. And so I came here, and ultimately doors continue to open, and not just like financially or what my next job's going to be. Here I just found a way to just be okay with some stuff, and it'll make me better.
So you're 20 months, you're coming up on your 2 years.
Yeah.
Are you going to continue on, or do you see
Here?
yourself leaving after the 24 months?
No, it's time for me to move on, and it's time for me to go help others in different manners. There's a couple of things. I just don't have the one degree. I have a few, and one of them is working in recovery. I'm like a dissertation away from working with people one-on-one. That's not what I want to do. But what I am going to do is I'll probably work in business-to-business development, helping people get into treatment.
Is that what you want to do?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so with my brother's very involved. My sister has her own treatment place, and so I'll probably end up working in the community on different levels. I do have Red Barn's backing, which helps.
And a unique perspective is what you'll be bringing.
Extremely unique perspective. But but ultimately, like, I just get to be okay whatever, you know, is thrown in front of me, and it's probably not going to be perfect right away. This place has certainly taught me to be okay with some stuff. So.
It's really difficult from my end to relate to somebody who's perfect or a perfect situation. So if it's not perfect, that's fabulous.
Right. Yeah.
More
well,
relatable.
The one thing, if you make it through this program, you can make it through a lot of stuff. You know, well, something I always tell my mom, or you know, is, Mom, really, like, it'd be great for anybody to take 3 or 4 months out of their life and just go somewhere and just connect with people in a different way, and not have all that outside influence that you have to deal with on a daily basis. You know, I truly wish there was ways we could incorporate more of the outside world with us, but we do the best we can. And ultimately, that's why we're making steps here to have, our apartment next door, to make connections with the community, to get out there, and these guys get out in the community a lot, But ultimately, there's just a million ways to skin a cat. No one's figured it out, and we're just doing the best we can.
Well, we just hijacked you coming out of a bathroom, and look at this. I mean, this talk has been fabulous. So thank you.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for coming and checking us out. It's a big deal to always share what we got going on here with the community. So.
Yeah, it's really been humbling for us to be a part of this.
Cool.
Work, so thank you for letting us do this.
Yeah. Well,
Thank you, Chaz. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chaz.
He's going to send somebody out ahead of him from the bathroom from now on.
Don't go out there.
Don't do it. Don't do it. It's a trap.
That Travis is awesome. He's actually one of the other house managers as well. Hey, Dave.
Hey.
How you doing, man? Nice to see you at work.
Yeah.
This Gabe's actually one of the first graduates of Red Barn.
Oh, nice. So when did you graduate?
In 2018.
2018. That's awesome. Guess that makes sense because 2017 was when it started, the official start or whatever.
Yep, that's right. Who are you guys with?
So we're with the Food and Meat Co-op, and so we're just learning about your organizations. Our community had donated a bunch of money to buy meat, so we sell meat from different sources, here in Utah and around the country. And so, anyway, so we wanted to.
Christmas dinner pretty much.
Yes.
Wow, thank you so much.
Yes.
It means a lot to all of us here.
Yeah, it was.
Especially
awesome.
being here from the beginning.
Sure.
We didn't have a lot, and so we made do with what we had. So, and then as we've gotten bigger, we've built relationships with folks like you guys, and it's really made a difference. And
Yeah, we're really excited you guys reached out to us to help because
It was Mario that reached out to us. Yeah.
He was on a hunt. Yeah.
Mario, how did you find us?
Yeah.
I'm always curious.
I just put I think I put pork and beef manufacturers, and you guys popped up.
SEO is working well.
Small companies, so that's why it's still a
I
small
called and
co-op,
emailed like so many companies, and like you guys are probably the only ones that responded.
Oh wow.
And so I'm super grateful.
So glad I'm on the side of the camera.
I just want to ask that question. I'm really glad you asked that because we're really kind of small. I mean, we're not that big. I'm in a business, or she started it 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In 2020, actually.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was, but it said food and meat, so I was like, I need it. So, I reached out and we sent an email, and it's the rest is kind of history, we're building it right now.
I don't know if you guys have access to our Facebook page at all electronically, but our community blew up about it.
We asked them for donations to help pay for some of that food, and they started donating money to cover that food. And we raised
over $4,500 in a week.
Really?
In 1 week.
And so we're going to start, hopefully we can arrange where we drop off meat every, a couple times a month or whatever.
Whatever you guys can do, we are grateful. Like, what you
not-
guys have been doing.
We sold our freezer space, so we have more freezer
Yeah.
space than we thought. So
Yeah, now that we know what
I
your
think
capacity is.
Robert said about like 350 pounds a week is
what they go through?
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys have been amazing. We
Yeah,
were running so
the
low on
community
meat.
was really excited and they wanted to get involved. A lot of people were like, oh yeah, they were awesome. And we shared some spotlights from your website on what it was, and what you guys do. And
I think that there have been like people from your community have actually positively impacted people in our community.
Yeah.
Like family members of some of our participants.
Yeah,
and, those kinds of things. And so it's actually been really cool.
I think
that conversation.
I
on
shared it
Facebook
over
when
with
we
you,
said
yeah.
We want to support them, and then the people that came out with their own personal stories.
Yeah.
That's been awesome.
Because I did wonder, we have some folks that are very active in the recovery community, and I thought, I wonder what this person's going to think about this. And it was, my brother is waiting to get in.
Yeah.
So it was like,
whoo.
whoo.
Wait list that wants to get in.
Yeah.
And they shared that with us. And
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's very touching.
Because I know I've always loved your program, I love getting back to the farming and the natural consequences if you don't take care of it. Our son was in a rollover accident and as a high schooler, and we didn't get home until about 2 o'clock in the morning. And at 6 or 7 a.m. he wakes me up. He goes, "Mom, you got to take me. I got to go feed the pigs." I was like, "Dude, we just got to bed." He goes, "Pigs don't care. They don't care about the accident. They don't care about how I'm feeling. They don't care that I'm bruised. All they know is they're hungry." And I thought, "Oh, this is it."
Responsibility.
Yeah, this is important.
That's what we're trying to teach. That no matter what happens in life, that you still have to take care of your commitments and responsibilities. You know, that's bottom line. That's life.
That's amazing.
Yes,
Congratulations.
I'll show you guys a little bit of the office. Hey, Chris.
I want a t-shirt. I want to rep the Red Barn. I'm a grandma.
That's like live, what's happening right now.
The left-hand side is
War room?
The top right is a little bit of like students, and the bottom is what we were making.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a cool, like, I love like looking at goals.
I like the war
charts
room.
and yes.
And I want to know what app they're using
Travis
to
is
track those trucks.
he's the movie
We should
manager.
ask.
He's the movie manager right here. He takes care of all this stuff. This is our office. Our corporate development office. This is where.
This is where you work?
This is where Ethan, I, and our manager isn't here right now.
Okay.
But this is where we do our work.
It's your domain. Yeah.
Yeah. This is very new for me. Like before I was the intern manager before I came in here. So what his deli is?
Yeah.
That was my job for about 6 months.
Okay.
And then I passed the torch on to him, and then I'm in here now. Just calling on the phone and asking for things is very hard. It was very hard for me at first.
Sure.
But knowing what Red Barn has done for me, you know, it's been easy.
Yeah.
You know, but it was hard, still hard, but it is easy to share the story because of what Red Barn has done in my life.
Yeah. And then I told them, and then they're like, "We need to reach out to our community." And so, anyway.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a little bit of our wall of hope, you know, of some of our donors that we have on the community.
Nice.
You know, and we have this side and the other side.
Yeah.
Is there a certain level of like financial commitment in order to get your name on this wall of hope?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I'd have to check.
I want to get up there.
I was gonna say, and
I think it's 5,000.
but I mean, you guys are right there, so I'm gonna bring that up.
Yeah, let us
So-
know if we'd be interested in. We see if we could become a more permanent donor.
Yeah, and I think that's the goal. I mean, you guys have been, you know, phenomenal in our growth. Because as of late, we've gone to 67 students, and it's
A lot of mouths to feed.
Yeah.
A lot of
A lot of
guys.
men.
Got
A
a
lot
lot
of men.
hungry guys.
Yes.
Mouths, it's men.
It's not little kids.
yeah, and we're big guys. Look at Ethan. He's a grown boy.
Yes.
You know, and it's just awesome what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
You guys are making, you know, a difference in our lives. That's for sure. I can only imagine how much you're impacting out there in the community as well.
Well, you guys are having a big impact where you're at too.
Yeah.
I think that's amazing to hear, like, how each one of you helps the other person, and how, I don't know, it's just awesome.
Each one
I'm
teach
gonna
one
get
that we
emotional
do.
now, so.
Each one teach one. I like that.
That's
So
what
it's
we
had
do.
a rippling effect. I mean, when you started this in 2020, it started small, and then it's just gotten bigger and bigger, and then now we're reaching other avenues you never thought you could reach.
And just like helping people in so many different ways.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You thought it was just going to be like, oh, we'll help families save money on grocery bills because it's so expensive, but now it's grown to.
You know, and that's the cool thing, right? Is that, you know, we can help each other grow.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, that's the relationship that I think
That's the ones that have the most value and that long lasting, because that's probably what started Red Barn, is that it was the relationships with
They're tiny.
cause, and then it grew, and then this connection, that connection, and then started growing and growing, and now you've built, like a better word, of an empire in essence of.
Exactly.
But in such a small world, I think that's
Yeah,
the thing
that's-
I'm the
it's
most
still
surprised
so
about.
connected. Yeah.
Is how small the world ends up being when you
Yes.
really sit and look at it.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a connection somewhere.
Exactly. It's a
This-
support system, right?